Hey! Hello! Right, let's see who comes on, shall we? So, I've gone mad. Mad, I tell you. Yeah. I decided to do this. I set goals every 90 days across different areas of stuff. So business goals, fitness goals, and kind of goals with family and friends and stuff like that. And a focus goal as well, actually, which I do through this group I'm in. And the focus goal is to kind of keep everything on track. Now, the goals that were set within this group, everyone sets their own different goals, but the goals that were set are kind of have to be challenging. Okay, I've got a spot on my head, look. Anyway, they have to be challenging. Okay, it's pointless just setting a fitness goal. Like, there's a few people who've set a fitness goal and said, I'm going to lose some weight, or I'm going to get a six-pack, or whatever. It doesn't mean anything, so there's no point. So it's got to be challenging. So the last one I set was to do the fan dance, which is overnight as well. So it started at 10 p.m. and that was a 15-mile hike up and down Penny Fan, and then up another mountain, and then back along and back over again with, what was it? It was like 20 kilos on my back. 15 kilos, 16 kilos, something like that. Anyway, there was a bit more with water and stuff like that. It was heavy, put it that way, for carrying that distance. Now, that was challenging. It was hard. And it was very rewarding. I felt great after it. So I thought, right, well, what can I do next? Dave Mackey's on. All the way from Sweden, still, I think. So yeah, I thought, well, what can I do next? And then I just thought, you know what? I'm not going to do something that I hate, because I found the fan dance really challenging. I thought, I'm going to do something that I'll hopefully enjoy, but is stupidly challenging as well. So I'm going to walk 100 kilometres in one go. Try and do it in 24 hours. There's a guy who I was talking to the other day on here, and a couple of guys that we know did it, and it was they took 27 hours. So I'm going to try and do it in less than 24. If I go by what I've been doing, walking 16 miles in, I should be able to do it in about 18 hours, but that's extrapolating it out, and it doesn't work like that, does it? Anyway, so I'm going to do that on Saturday. I'm going to jump on the train Saturday morning, get the train to Cheltenham. I've got my book here, and I'm going to walk the Cotswolds way back to Bath. I think my train gets in at 20 to 9 or something like that. I'm going to make up loads and loads of breakfast the night before. I'm going to eat it on the train. I'm going to eat a pizza the night before. I'm going to get 2 pizzas, and I'm going to chop the other one up and take it with me and walk back. So, what am I doing that for? Tom's on, Tom Jones, not that one. Hey. What am I doing that? I'm also doing this on my own. I did invite some of the guys to come. 3 of them were going to do it, one of whom quadruple booked himself for that Saturday. He's got a wedding to go to, so he can't make it, so never mind, but he was really up for it. Bought the boots and everything, so I'm going to do this again. Another one of the guys said, I love a challenge and all that, but he never actually committed to doing it, so that's cool. And another one of the guys has just got back off holiday and he's burnt his feet. So, might be an excuse, I don't know. However, I'm doing it on my own. Now, I didn't give the guys much notice about this. I just decided to do it at the end of June, beginning of July. I just said, right, on the 19th of August, I'm doing this. And the reason why I'm doing it, I want to prove to you and to myself, I want to kind of prove that what I'm doing, the training I do for myself, and the training that the guys are doing, which is the same stuff, the train based around the same principles as I use for myself. However, it's based around their specific movement and their specific level of fitness or strength or wherever they're at. But it's basically, it's all designed around creating this resilient body that can do stuff like this without really thinking about it, without really having to train for it. Now, where I started with all of this was in the program that's in the link below. That's where I first started. And I remember I've done the Cotswolds Way before, but I'm not even doing the whole thing. I'm doing 100 kilometers of it. The whole thing is 102 miles long. I'm doing 100k, which is 60 miles of it, which is enough. I've done it before, a few years ago, but I did it in 6 days with a couple of friends and my wife at the time. Now, I remember training for it, okay? So it was an average of like 18 miles a day, something like that. And I remember training for it because I was like, this is going to be tough. And I was I'd already been going to the gym for years. I'd done a couple of half marathons and stuff like that, but it was really hard. And I remember me and my wife at the time were like, right, we're going to go and do a 7-mile walk to train. And I remember we walked up and over Claverton down, up Bathwick Hill, over Claverton down, past the American Museum, and if you live in Bath, you'll know this. And then across down to the canal and back along. It was like 7 miles, 7.5 miles and all that. We made up sandwiches and everything. We were like, right, we better take a backpack, and we made up sandwiches and wrapped them in tin foil and put them in the back. And we were like, we can stop at like 3 or 4 miles and have a sandwich and all that. You know, and the reason why I'm smiling is because now I'll do that just for the hell of it. You know, and you might think like, okay, you're fit for a living, and it's like, yeah, but I'm just a normal gadgie. I'm a normal bloke. A gadgie is a bloke in Newcastle. That's what we call blokes, gadgies. But I'm just a normal gadgie. I'm a normal bloke. There's nothing special. I've just looked after myself over the last few years because I was getting older, or I thought I was, and now I thought I was going to get old and knackered and tired, and I didn't want to. And I haven't taken it to extremes. I don't do any out of this world training. I don't spend hours and hours in the gym. I'm forgotten how to talk. I train for like an hour a day at the most, and I do some walking, and that's pretty much it. Which is what I get the guys to do. I get the guys who come along to the park. They do 3 sessions a week, which is 3 hours a week. And then some of them do other stuff, some of them don't, which is fine. Three's. I do an hour a day, and I've just been doing it longer. I've just been doing it longer than them. I've been doing it longer than you. So therefore, I've built a foundation, and the wider you build the foundation, it doesn't fit on here, but the wider you build the foundation, the higher the peak goes, right? So going from doing this 7-mile walk and taking sandwiches and everything, because it was like, oh, I'm going to get hungry and all that. Now, you know, I was away in Cuba for 2 weeks. When I got back, I was like, right, I better do a couple of walks just to see how it's going. I did a 16.5-mile walk on last Wednesday. Felt absolutely fine. I took 1 Trek bar with me and this bottle of water, which I filled up on the way. So I had 2 of those in a Trek bar across 16.5 miles. Took me quite a while actually, because I just got back from Cuba and I was still jet lagged, so it took us like 5.5 hours. And then I did it again on Sunday, and it took me 5 hours or less for 4 hours 50 or something like that. The same walk, exactly the same walk. I just went and did it. Fine. So 7 miles, when I first did it, I was knackered at the end of it and took sandwiches and everything. This one, Trek bar in my pocket, bottle of water, just done one. I managed to do it super simple. And I haven't done any training for that or anything. It's just, that's kind of normal. I can do that. And that's because I've been training myself to be strong, my joints to be strong, my hips to be strong, my shoulders to be strong, my core, if you call it that. Your core is basically everything but the limbs, you know, but my midsection, I've trained that to be strong as well. Not to get a 6-pack or anything like that, just to be strong, because then it can hold my upper body up while my lower body's working, and then walking becomes easier. So I'm doing this to prove to you, to the guys who come to BKS, and to myself, that I can do it. And pretty much, I reckon, with a certain amount of training and stuff like that, most people can do this. What I'm aiming to do is to do it and then not be ruined, like the next day, and not be walking like John Wayne for 3 weeks afterwards. I want to feel like I've done it, and then I'm fine afterwards. And if I can do that, that's going to prove to me, at least, that what we do here at BKS, what my online program does for the guys who are doing that online, of which somebody signed up this very morning, Matt. And if you're watching, Matt, I've sent you the tracking book. I've sent you it already today with a little surprise as well. So you'll get that in the post tomorrow. You'll start on Monday on that. To the guys who are on the monthly online, the BKSIC, of which the new program is written. I just need to do the videos for it, which I'm going to do tomorrow. And then I need to do the mobility videos for it, which I'm going to do on Friday, because I'm doing a load of mobility on Friday before I go on Saturday. I'm getting a massage tomorrow as well of Zoe, who's Paul Hurley's daughter. Paul's the guy who lost 8 stone, coming to BKS. I'm going to prove to all of you guys, hopefully as well, that what you're doing, the program that you guys are on, it works. It gives you this sort of capability to do stuff without being ruined. Because that reminds me of a story of a guy who I know. I think I talked about this the other week. The day after I'd done the fan dance, so I left at like 6 o'clock, drove to Wales, got there, 10 p.m. started the fan dance, took me 5.5 hours, which isn't a great time, but I don't care. It was good for me. First time I've ever done it. Finished in 5.5 hours, jumped in the car, drove home, went to bed. Had about 4 hours kip, got up. You know, it was daylight and everything when I was driving back, got up. And then I went to meet a couple of friends in the pub. And one of the guys asked how he was, and he was like, "Oh, I'm tired, I'm really sore." And I was like, "Oh, you're all right, you're not ill, are you?" And he just said, "Nah," he goes, "I played basketball the other day and I haven't played for about 3 or 4 years and I'm just like really tired and everything and all that." And I was like, "All right," and I felt absolutely fine. You know, and he was like, "What have you been up to?" And I was like, "Well, I did a 15-mile hike up and down a couple of mountains yesterday with 20 kilos on my back." And he was like, "Oh, okay." And I didn't say, you know, he asked us, so I told him. But I wasn't sitting there going, and I feel absolutely fine and everything. But I did. I felt fine. I didn't feel, it didn't ruin me. So I didn't have sore knees. I didn't have sore hips. My shoulders were fine. You know, all of this. And it was like, the stuff I've been doing works. And that's kind of, this is the point I find very difficult to get across to people who just think, right, I want to get fit, so I'll go and look for a pay-as-you-go boot camp where it's £3 a session, and they'll get me to jump around and do star jumps and all that, and I'll get fit and strong. And if that's what you want, that's fine. That'll cost you like 3, 4, 5 quid a session. Fine, go and find that. It'll get you fitter. It'll help you lose weight. However, it won't put you in that sort of position to be able to do that. You'll need a program that's specific to you. And I talk to the guys at BKS about this all the time, and like I'll say, you know, a lot of them are like, "Oh, I've got friends who've asked about it," and I tell them what it involves, and then they're like, one of the guys this morning who comes along at 7 o'clock 3 times a week, 7 till 8 in the morning, was telling one of his mates about it, and he's like, "You know, I love it. It's great. I come down," and he goes, "And I don't like missing it," and you know, he makes sure he gets there. And apparently his mate said, "Well, what do you do for breakfast?" And he's like, "Well, I just have breakfast afterwards." You know, it's like, what a weird question. You know, it's getting me fitter and stronger. It's helping me lose weight. It's making me feel better about myself. It makes, you know, it gets me excited to get up in the morning and go to it. But what do you do for breakfast? It's like, what difference does that make? What difference does it make? I've just told you all the benefits of it. Why, you know, I eat breakfast. It's as simple as that. This is what he was saying. You know, so... And I was saying to the guys, this is the problem I have of getting it across to you people, to you, what is actually involved and what the outcome is. And I can use the outcome that, you know, we have people who lose weight on my online program, people lose up to a stone in 6 weeks. In 6 weeks. And they get fitter and stronger on the program afterwards, which is a monthly program. The best result we've had so far at BKS is 8 stone weight loss. 8 stone. Okay? Which is amazing. It's amazing. That's life-changing. It's life-changing. It is as well because Paul, who lost that, was on a lot of medication for blood pressure and statins for his cholesterol and all that sort of stuff. And he's not on that anymore. He's not on that anymore. He's on. He went from 12 pills down to 1, which he takes for something else. But that was it. And that is amazing. These are life-changing results. And this is the thing I try to get across, especially when people tell me I'm full of shit. And it's like, you can think I'm full of shit and I don't give a toss because it works. I know it works and I've got the results to prove it. And the program below is exactly where I started. And I'm going to prove it on Saturday. Hopefully, if I make it out alive, I'm going to prove it on Saturday when I do this 100k walk. On my own. Unsupported. I'm going to have a backpack with food in and some water and a waterproof, and that's it. In my body. And I'm going to prove that it works. And I'm going to do it, and hopefully, by the end of it, like I've been saying, I want to try and do it, and then on Monday morning, get up and feel absolutely fine. Not feel like I'm ruined. Not feel stiff as a board. Not feel like my hips are shot. Not feel like my lower back's going to cave in. Not feel like I need to sit in a wheelchair for the rest of my life. That's what I'm aiming at. And I'm going to prove it can be done. So, there we have it. Download the program. You've got nothing to lose. It costs nothing. And if you don't think it's worth it, which, how can it not be worth it if it costs nothing? But anyway, if you think it's a load of bollocks, you don't have to do it. It's perfectly fine. There you go. Anyway, I'll talk to you tomorrow.